Welcome friends, my name is Lizzie Brooks and this is where muscle meets mindful and seriously good yoga isn't too serious. So today is meditation for people who hate meditation. You're not alone. So plenty of people dislike meditation, and I want to quickly talk about 5 or 6 reasons why I think that is. And I think once you know those reasons, you can address them and then move forward into a meditation practice that is more suitable for you, where likely you won't hate it as much, hopefully. So I've noticed that a lot of the reasons why students talk to me and they say, you know, I tried it and I don't like it, is because the expectation is incorrect. And that's not your fault. I had this expectation too when I first started. So a lot of times people expect that people who meditate can wipe the slate clean, clear their mind, not have any thoughts coming in, that it's never frustrating, that it's pretty easy, and it can happen in a short period of time. That's not actually the case. So you can just totally free yourself of that and feel a little bit more okay about your attempts to meditate, even if it doesn't feel perfect. Because unless you've been practicing meditation for a really long time and you've made it a priority, you're having an experience that most people have, which is thoughts are coming in. They're constantly coming in. And it's kind of what you do with those thoughts, not that you're not supposed to have those thoughts. So that's first and foremost, is don't expect that you can just wipe the slate clean and that it's so easy for other people and not you. You're more in the same boat as other people are than you think. 2 is it can be physically uncomfortable to sit up and meditate. So I have a blanket underneath me to lift my hips the same height or a little bit higher than my knees to make my lumbar spine and my hips feel more comfortable. Here's something. If you can't find a seated position that feels okay for you, you could sit in a chair instead of on the ground, or you can even lay on your back. You can even put your legs up the wall. You can meditate in any comfortable position. So please pick the position that works best for you. Get the meditation element down, make that more important than the actual physical way that you're holding your body. So number 3 is you might not have tried the right type of meditation. So just like yoga, there's all different styles and types. There are so many different styles and types of meditation. So maybe the one that you tried just wasn't the right one for you. Maybe it was a little too advanced, or it just wasn't something that resonated with you. So just know you can try another type and try until you find what works. Number 4, the length of time. I know a lot of people, they dive into meditation and right off they try to do a 10-minute meditation or a 15-minute meditation. Now, while 10 and 15 minutes that's not a really long amount of time for maybe exercising. To exercise the brain in that type of a calm, slow, quiet state, that's a lot. And your brain isn't used to that. So we're used to getting signals and all this feedback all day long. So to try to do even 10 minutes, sometimes even 5 minutes, that's too much at once. So what I say is baby step your way into the meditation, even if it's 1 minute. 1 minute, trying that over time can be really beneficial until you're ready for 2 minutes. So baby steps. And then kind of wrapping back around to what I said at first is like not having the expectation that you can just, you know, like an Etch-a-Sketch, shake your Etch-a-Sketch and it's all clean and there's no thoughts. The goal of meditation isn't that. But there are little moments that even if through all of the clutter of your mind and all of the chatter and all of the talk that happens during your meditation, even if you can find little itty bitty spaces where there was just a little more focus or a little more quiet, over time that will build. And that comes to my last thing before we get started in the meditation, which is practice. So just like when you're doing your yoga or workout or whatever you're doing, you get better over time through practice. It's the same thing. So practice, but make it approachable, make it easy, maybe do a minute or 2, And just look for those little moments where, oh, I was focused on the breath the whole time, or oh, I was focused on that word or that color, not the whole time, sorry, but for maybe 5 seconds. Maybe there were blips. Look for the blips of time when there was focus, because that's more than your brain is used to, and that's good for your brain. So thank you so much for listening to all of that. Now choose the setup that is right for you. Do you want to lay down? Do you want to use something to prop your hips? Do you want to put your legs up the wall or on a chair? Get comfortable and close your eyes. We're going to do a short meditation because, again, we don't want to overwhelm you and leave you still hating meditation. That's not our goal here. So hopefully you found your comfortable space, and make any adjustments to your clothing, scratch any itches you need, all the stuff that kind of can be super distracting. Just address it, and then we'll move forward. So close your eyes, and if you're seated, you can find some length in the spine. Don't back bend at all, because sometimes we think length is a back bend. Just neutral curves of your spine intact. And just feel for your breathing. And I'm going to give you some cues of places in your body to release that we generally hold on to a little more. So imagine that your jaw is relaxing from your inner ears all the way through to the connections of the jaw. You might want to swallow and soften the throat and all the little muscle fibers that surround the eyes. And no matter where you are, let the shoulder blades drape. Let there be no undue stress around the neck, the hips, the fingertips. Even release the toes. Give an elongation, a slightly more elongated back of your neck. So there's studies that show that if your chin is lifted, you're kind of a little bit more in the chatter of the mind, the thinking mind. But if you can drop that chin just a little bit, you might be able to go inside and soften a little bit more. From here, imagine that there is a point, and you can give this a color, right at your middle of your forehead and right at the sternum. And it could be 2 different colors or the same color. I think you should give it the same color for now. Let's keep it real simple. And then with your breath, just imagine that from your heart center to the center of your mind, you can inhale up from your heart, linking the heart to the mind, and exhale from the center of the mind back down to the heart. Just traveling and linking those 2 points. Inhaling, drawing the contents of the heart up. Exhaling, contents of the mind back down to the heart. So this is a guided visualization. Now you could make this pathway that the breath is traversing, you could make it a ladder or a path through the woods or whatever that looks like within you. Try to deepen the path so that it's really at the axis of the body, as if a plumb line was sent down through your center. And those 2 points weren't on the surface, but rather right down the midline of your body, the very core. Center of the mind, center of the heart. Take a moment and check in if you started to stress around the neck or the shoulders or the jaw or face or anywhere. And let it go with your next exhalation. And in the same way that you gave a color to those points, can you now give a color to your breath? Let's make it a really soothing color to you. And at this point, slow it down just a little bit. All you're doing is linking center of the heart to the center of the mind so that we don't feel fragmented and we don't feel like we're a head on top of a body, but that we're one body connected. Soften at the bridge of the nose. So imagine that even the nose could relax. And now let your body move a little bit more freely with your breath. So no restriction. And now that we have properly linked the mind and the heart, find one word that is calm and soothing or loving or all three. Find that word. Don't overthink it. And now put that word right in front of you. Even though your eyes are closed, imagine that you could see that word in front of you. You can see it fully written, or you can see it being written over and over. It could be the same color that you chose from prior. But breathe that word. On your next exhale, release fully, and then very carefully and gently let the eyes open. Bring your hands together to your heart and give a gentle bow in, and thank yourself for that focus, and be very, very forgiving and gentle because you didn't have to focus the whole time. Any bits where you found focus, great, and recognize that this will happen over time, more and more, the more you come back to it. May you have a beautiful day, and maybe even bring in a minute or two of that meditation, even part of that meditation, as many days as you can, and enjoy. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.